This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another Day in the Arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the Arena, we're gonna do some metagaming. Yep, when a meta gets really stagnant, when you know exactly what all the decks are, how they work, what they will play, when the lists become, the big word is homogenized, then that is a good opportunity to make a deck that's a little bit outside of what those decks are doing, that is designed specifically to prey upon them. And in Best of One, it's even more important because your main deck choices really depend on what you expect to play against. You don't get to sideboard. You don't get to fix the deck between games and have a better matchup. So you need to make sure that your deck has what it needs to beat the matchups that you want to beat. So on that note, I give to you today my metagame deck, green-white midrange. The important thing to start with a metagame is to ask yourself what you actually want to beat. When building a metagame deck, it's not usually about I want to play this specific card or these specific colors. It's about what do you want to defeat on the ladder. And the only things that seem to show up on the ladder right now are Gruul Adventures, Mono Red, of course, Rogues, of course, and Mono White. Not a lot of control. Not a lot of mid-range. Those decks to me are what it's all about. And if there aren't people playing Yorions and Ugins, then I think that the scene is wide open for you to build a deck, if you can, that puts all those attacking decks in a bind. And that's what green-white midrange here is meant to do. We have the sort of broken interaction that goes over the top of so many decks and lets you fight against control with Edgewall Innkeeper, Lovestruck Beast, Kazandu Mammoth, and the Great Henge. This is an important shell that we've seen in Adventures and Mono Green and various other spots. But here we're going to be using it to support the white cards. The white cards that help us against all those aggro decks. 4 copies of Giant Killer, 4 copies of Glass Casket, 4 copies of Skyclave Apparition. We actually have 12 removal spells in our mono green creature deck. Mono green. You know what I mean. Our mostly green creature deck. And these help get all those small critters off the board. On top of that, we prioritize life gain and attacking graveyards. Scavenging Ooze. 4 copies to make absolutely sure that if the opponent gets an advantage and then we trade off a bunch of creatures, we end up with the biggest creature afterwards and some extra life. And we also have some fun value engines. Yasharn can fetch 2 lands to make sure we keep hitting land drops, which is very important. Legion Angel fetches the angels from the sideboard. These both give you a good edge in the mid game to late game, and also bodies that can help with the Great Henge. Yasharn is not the most obvious combo with the Great Henge. If you play a Lovestruck Beast on 3 or a Mammoth, the opponent will fall out of their chair to figure out how to kill it so that you don't get to play the Great Henge. If you play Yasharn or Legion Angel on turn 4, these cards get value. Like this got you 2 lands, this gets you another angel. The opponent doesn't always want to take a turn killing them because what are you going to do? You're just going to play something else the next turn, especially in Legion Angel's case, which means they let it sit on the board, which means you hit a land drop afterwards. Great Henge. So, very solid cards to include here. Then the absolute killer. This deck was close, but I ended up making decks similar to this and just took them out over and over and over. Just deleted them. Why? Rogues. Rogues got rogued all the time, got just beat up by rogues. And it took a long time for me to swallow my pride and say, it's the only really bad matchup that's a creature deck. Let's play some bad sideboard tech in Best of One. Chainweb Arachnir. When it enters the battlefield, damage equal to its power to target creature with flying and opponent controls, escape for 5, exile 4, 3+1/+1 counters, reach. Just a little killing machine against rogues. An endless brick wall that keeps coming back and removing their flyers over and over. And the Lurrus version often doesn't have much they can do about it. Lull Mage's Domination is a good solution. Cling to Dust can be a good solution, but they always end up milling more. And we do have enough like Skyclave, Glass Casket removal, and other ways to eat our graveyard and Scavenging Ooze that if Chainweb Arachnir slows the rogue deck down just a bit, the other cards can take over. You need time and a lot of mana to make Ooze good against rogues, but you can get that time with Chainweb Arachnir. So that's beating the most hated deck in the format right there. That's your rogue tech. And it's just an uncommon, easy craft. The mana, we have 4 copies of Crawling Barrens. Why? This deck is terrible against Ugin and Yorion. The best thing you can do against them, aside from Crawling Barrens, is that you can get an early Great Henge using this shell, or draw a bunch of cards with Innkeeper if they have a bad start. But most of the time, those decks recover very well and defeat you. So the solution that I just slammed 4 of into the deck is Crawling Barrens, which hopefully can go pick off that Ugin after it comes down and has like 2 loyalty left. Or if they don't build their deck well, they don't have Eliminate, they have like 4 Heartless Acts, you can just beat the Yorion blue-white decks to death with Crawling Barrens. Just do nothing else. So it's a plan of its own, and since we hit all of our land drops with this deck most of the time, the Crawling Barrens becomes very large very quickly. So this is the control plan. If you don't care much about the control matchup, or you are willing to take your chances because it's a very small part of the meta, you do not need Crawling Barrens in this deck. In fact, you'll probably have better curve outs most of the time, because double white and double green in the mana cost here for Mammoth and Apparition is very sketchy. Activating Ooze requires lots of green. Having colorless there is very sketchy. These don't make the mana base better, and if you didn't run them, I would completely understand. I've become pretty infatuated with Crawling Barrens as a plan of its own against control decks, so that's why it's here, that's why I play it, and that explains the deck. The absolute meta breaker for these last few weeks of the format, at least on the best of 1 ladder, and a very different way to attack it in the color combination of green-white, which doesn't always get all the love. So, on that note, let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. A white, a green, possibly a second green, no second white, Barrens, but we might be playing Mammoth into Henge. Will we get destroyed? And I mean destroyed by this Crawling Barrens. Stay tuned. But we do have Chainweb Arachnir. And I think we're against rogues. Let's hold it and see if they play a Wind Robber. Yes! Yes! Taste it! Taste it! I'm gonna play the Mammoth tapped and try to draw another white. I would like Mammoth into Henge. I just give up against rogues. I don't think it's gonna work. And let the milling begin. We need to draw a second white very badly. Yay! So they play Lurrus, which means Giant Killer's no good. So we can put that on the battlefield. We can attack first. See if the opponent has the guts. They do not. Big play coming next turn as we try to resolve our Legion Angel. Gargoyle. Okay, well, I said Giant Killer was no good. I was wrong. Not what I expected. But, Angel time. Their Mill Wing-Con is well online. Half the deck is gone, and they still have 3 cards to go, and a crab on the board, and we've drawn no removal for it. I'm really curious, though, if they're going to try to kill the Angel. And we didn't find another Arachnir. Oh my. Okay. Well, the line for me on this is pretty simple. I block with the Chainweb. And then I bring it back. They could counter it. I could also go for Henge. I just don't think it will resolve, whereas I think Arachnir at least makes some progress on this graveyard. I think they're just going to Into the Story. Could be wrong. They take 4. Alright. Let's get this off Summoning Sickness, you never know. And let's just do this. So they're a Lurrus deck, so they don't have Zareth. Do I have to think about what to exile? I guess if I exile spells, Cling to Dust is less relevant, but maybe I don't want them... You know what? I don't think it matters. Okay, they use 1 counter. Can they do that for the rest of the game and succeed? Can they do that long enough to hit me with the gargoyles? I guess it means I don't attack with my Legion Angel. Yeah, you wouldn't want that crab to attack. Heaven forbid. Second Arachnir. Third Arachnir. Let's start here. I guess they could have a Jwari Disruption. Care to do it again? How many Drown the Locks do you have? The answer is another. It's always another. Alright. Let's play the Arachnir. The opponent draws a card. So, do we keep being aggressive with the Angel? I think we do now that we have an Arachnir, and that we're going to be able to make a tap down with the Giant Killer next turn. 27 cards, 21 cards. Opponent's had no problems with us so far. We've been completely slapped around, but we're trying to get them to just come up a few draws short down the stretch. And they buy Lurrus, and they have Drown available as always, because that's what they do. They mill another 2, 19 cards. Take the block. Down to 11. 11 to 11. Opponent in total complete control here. But I'm not done with them quite yet. How many times can they do this? Opponent in complete control, and then one time they can't counter the Arachnir, and they scoop. With me at 19 cards. What a wimp. Hello, hello. Let's go. So, Henge draw, Temple. We could play turn 1 Innkeeper, but we don't have any adventure cards, so I'd rather hold it. Last Casket, no idea if that's good, but we definitely need to have a third and fourth land, so it's an easy bottom. Opponent goes with the turn 1 Innkeeper. We're still lacking mana. We play this on white and plan to exile their Innkeeper, then I don't know how we're ever going to play the Henge, but right now the odds of drawing 2 lands in a row are low. So I guess the Henge will have to wait. Straight to the Rimrock Knight. At least it wasn't a Bone Crusher Giant. I'll take the trade. I don't have any adventure creatures yet. Heh, punished. Let's just slam the beast. No 1/1. A 5/5 wall is perfectly good against Gruul, and it means an untapped land off the top is a Henge. Would I block if they attack? I'm not sure. Alright, Brushfire. Passage. They want to offer a trade with the Brushfire here. I don't think I should block. I think the Henge is just too great. You know, because it's a great Henge. Anyway, if we don't draw the land, we have a good play with Skyclave. Dude. Dude. Throw that Rimrock Knight in the trash. I don't know. I don't know where these people... I don't know what's going on, okay? Henji Uzi. How are you going to beat that? Do you have a henge of your own? How about a Hembercleave? Do you have a Hembercleave? A great Hembercleave? Another Fabled Passage? Gruul is capable of gross stuff, but it looks like the answer is Forest and a Crowan War. So, do we exile the Crowan War and get back our Ooze? Or, you probably shouldn't attack the 3-power creature into the beast this time. Good choice. We could also just exile the Ooze, then we're forced to attack next turn, and then there's still the War thing where it does a bunch of damage to our creatures. So I think we just exile the War. War, what is it good for? That's right, everyone. Absolutely nothing. Oh my gosh. Skyclave as a 3/3 drawing a card is so freaking good. Unga! Get him, lovey-dovey. Oh, there's plenty more where that came from. Well, opponent has the Fabled Passage. Are they going to show us the might of Embercleave? Attacking into this board with a Brushfire is is so... Oh my gosh. It's something. Do it. Let's go. Let's rumble. Ah, Crowan War number 2. Okay. War. What is it good for, everybody? Say it with me now. That's right. Absolutely nothing. Skyclave Apparition, on the other hand, is a freaking boss. Yasharn. And a Barons. We'll play this and grow the Ooze, though. How you doing? You want to block and trade with my 1/1? It might stop the beasts from just beating the absolute crap out of you. Alright. Looks like the Yoink Gruul deck that I laddered with at the last frickin' second. Opponent could be a fan. Also doesn't mean it's my version. Other people have tried the Crowan War and Gruul. The competitive circuit has experimented. Good game? I will give it a good game. Even though they got a bit slapped around, they were a good sport. And they might, you know, they might be playing my list. So, bonus points. I guess? This is a weird hand. But we're on the play. On the draw, I would not keep it. On the play, I'm going to give it a shot because I think we can somehow miss a beat, still hit something good with Glass Casket, play Legion Angel, and then possibly play Great Henge. I guess we can wait on the pathways and decide what we want to do. I'm not... That doesn't go in the box. The box is not for you. Might be for you. Looks like we're up against food. And we want to play... Okay, we have back-to-back boxes. But we do want to play the Angel next turn. Maybe I should have boxed the 1/1. If I had boxed the last 2 turns in a row, a Lovestruck Beast wouldn't have been an attacker. Opponent says hello. Hello. It's a new CGB. No snark at all. Just friendly manners. Alright, it's a tap land, so that won't play the henge. So I think without a henge assured, we'll go ahead and put this in a box. Stop the opponent's henge. Ooze. Ooze is good in the matchup, but there's not enough dead stuff right now. I guess I want it because I want to play Legion Angel, and then I want to play henge, and then I want to use the 2 green to play the ooze. This is the scary turn. There's 2 scary turns, actually. If they make a food this turn and then play Wicked Wolf next turn, that's scary. If they play Lovestruck Beast and then play henge, that's scary. Burb. More white for more future green. Having double white with Legion Angels can be important because we might want to cast 2 in 1 turn. Ah, pathways are lovely, man. I love the arts they did, and I love the arts from the new set even more. If you want to see some of the new art pathways that are coming, I did a video covering those spoilers. It was just before Christmas. All right. Oh, soup person, what are you doing? Whoa, the questing beast. You'll love to see it. I mean, we're taking this. We might die next turn to a primal might or something absurd, but we're going hinging. Oh my goodness! Please draw another forest. Okay, that works. And away we go. Chainweb Arachneer not in its best matchup at all, but I'll take the card. When you add a great henge to the mix, it's a lot better. Now we can definitely trade with the angel because we have 2 angels we can play next turn. This is just, it's a creature deck full of bad removal spells, but this is classic control. Fall way behind, make a big play, and then catch up with card advantage. We just don't have removal spells as much as we have creatures that get in the way. Voice is kind of raspy. I'm going to clear my throat. And we're back. And the Wicked Wolf does exist. The opponent's probably regretting not killing that. Do we let the ooze go? I don't think so. I think it's like this. We could also save the Arachneer, but it comes back from the grave, and I think saving 5 here is good. Angel. For another angel. Man, that's a sweet combo. Alright, but I think what we're going to do is use the beast. Let's play untap land so we can grow the ooze and gain more life. Having a 5/5. I mean a 6/6. Pretty solid. Yeah, the comeback is real. Opponent says good game. I will also say good game. Happy 2021. Good gamers. And we got 3 points for Gryffindor. Rolling. So far you've seen Mono Green, Rogues, Gruul, assuming that I keep all the games I've played. We've played exactly what we wanted to play against in the creature decks of the format, aggressive decks, and Rogues. So we're just waiting now. Will Yorion or Ugin rear their ugly head, and can we beat them? That to me is the real test. On the draw. Good hand though. We will keep. It's a little clunky, but that's okay. The forest off the top fixes that. Let's open with the 1/1 human. Is our opponent mono white? Mono white's an interesting matchup, but we have Glass Caskets and Skyclave Apparitions. Charming Prince gain 3. Does seem like mono white life gain. Let's make another... No, let's play the Innkeeper. Make the opponent remove it, and then threaten to play the Lovestruck Beast next turn. And play a Fabled Passage into another green, saving our Mammoth. It might be a white if we have to remove something, and they play Linden. Do we care about Linden? I don't think it's worth removing. I think it's better to play the Lovestruck Beast. So in that case, I'll fetch the white so that I can remove it next turn and possibly play a tap land. They are gaining life quickly. This matchup becomes all about size. So we need to play our large creatures, and we need to dig for the henge. Skyclave app. I understand. The attacks continue, the life gain continues, the damage continues. Down to 13. Let's try to save the passage to go with the Mammoth. Let's play a land. Let's keep making the opponent like battle through these Lovestruck Beasts and tokens and drawing cards while we can before they do something about the Innkeeper. And then we'll eventually Skyclave app, probably their app, to turn things around. Okay. The double app draw. You'll love to see it. Linden coming. Charming Prince coming too. Do we triple block a Linden? I don't think so. If they had a Heliod, I think we would have seen it. Linden's pretty tame without Heliod. Crawling Barrens. Not the draw we're looking for. Out of Adventures. This is going to be tough. Especially without any creatures in the graveyard. We'll take out one of the apps, make a 3/3 to try to block the Linden. But that's our removal spell, so now we're really vulnerable to Maul of the Skyclaves or anything else that lets the opponent go over the top. Get an Ooze down. Drew a few too many lands in this game, I think. But we'll see. Can the opponent put the pieces together? Alright. Would you like to attack with that? You would. I think this is the block. The opponent can get a 3/3 illusion. We get the Linden off the field, but there are creatures in the graveyard then for the Ooze to grow. Like I said, it's all about creature sizing. Okay, they don't kill the Apparition. That surprised me. Are they really that worried? Maybe. Let's play the Mammoth. Let's play the Passage. We can crack it on their turn to make the Mammoth a 5/5. And we'll eat something with the Ooze. Say go. Yeah, backup Linden. Okay. Not too surprising. These decks play a ton of legendaries. Really? I guess it's a safe attack, but I mean, we can definitely pile up on it. They must have another Daxos too. Either way, we want to keep filling the graveyard, don't we? 5/5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I can put the Ooze in front, but I can grow the Ooze twice if they stack it against the Ooze. Actually, they can't. This is just a bad attack. Unless they have a trick. Fight is 1. You don't see it often. But when you do see it, you hate to see it. Nice. So, do we play the Passage again? Opponent with the Oops, yep. They are at 33. If they take 7, they go down to 26. They gain it back on any attack. What I'm trying to figure out is if I can take them off Speaker of the Heavens. Or if I want to get down the Crawling Barrens. Which land I get down actually matters. Matters a bit. All 4 Fabled Passage, huh? Somebody has to block this board. I guess Ooze can do it. Okay then, so let's play the Crawling Barrens and start growing it. All about sizing, like we said. Let's attack with this 5/5 while we can. Play second Innkeeper, since they never removed the first one, and pass the turn. Oh man. Every time the mono white deck hits their Legion Angel, I groan. Did they just You got to put them in the sideboard, you know? Yeah. Well, there you go. MTG Arena Ladder in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. You need to actually put the Legion Angels in your sideboard to get the benefit. It's this new thing that they're trying. Cringe. I think we play a land and offer them the Barons. I think we play backup Barons so we can attack with Barons twice in a row. But if they want to trade with this, that's fine. We don't have anything else to do with our mana. And we want to keep filling the graveyard. Ooze is right now a 5/5. We don't want to trade our Ooze. It's one of our trump cards right now. It's doing everything for us. And the opponent says, I will take all this. Down to 19. Life's Bounty complicates things. Luris. Nice. Ooze says, Ooze is down with this. And the opponent coming over the top, it looks like. Will we draw a removal spell? Will we be able to gain enough life to stay in the game? Stay tuned. That's a draw. That is a card. They say good game. Wow. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. So the passage can go to the graveyard. We have to get more things to the graveyard for sure. How do we do it? I guess we have to keep attacking them. This hitting for 7 I don't think matters right now. Oh, they can give this protection, right? And they can grow it to a 7. So how do I get them to give up their bounty? I don't know if I can. So this doesn't save me. We need another creature in the graveyard. That's a thing that we need. How do we do that? That's a way out. Can I pressure them enough? That's what I need to consider. I also need some blockers. This can be a blocker on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll try to kill the Ooze. Can I save it? Not really. So I can't afford to give up the Ooze, so it has to be these two. And I guess I'll make them an offer. Maybe they can't refuse it. The right play is not to kill anything. Interesting. They're not expecting the Arachnir. I'm going to save the passage. I don't know if that's right, per se, but it's what I'm going to do. Take 1. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I have another green to fetch with the passage either. That's kind of sad. I think I have all 4 of my forests. So the opponent, there's the counter. Here's the attack. Will they go for the bounty? Do they know about reach and how it works? It's a mysterious card. Oh man. All right. Eat this. We need to draw an adventure creature. Like a giant killer. Where the heck is giant killer? Report to duty. It's an adventure creature. Do I make the 1/1? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's close, right? Let's scry first. See if we can find that giant killer. Although the life's bounty will save it, so it doesn't really matter. It is the giant killer. All right, so we need to get our opponent to have to protect the angel with the Owl Seed to get through the Arachnir, and then we have to giant kill it, and we don't have enough mana to do all this. Because if we bring this back, the giant killer's on top of the library. Can we survive a turn then? If we bring this back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I know it's my go. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can also play the Beast, but we have Ooze. We can go up to 9. This goes to 8. So, okay, that's the play, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, this eats 4? Okay, so the first thing we have to do is play Lovestruck Beast, draw 2. Get the Giant Killer into our hand. Right? Right. Now we'll attack with Mammoth, see if they miscalculate something. Or make a bad block. Okay. Oh, that's... Okay. Missed the passage. I mean, this is part of it. This is part of it. You gotta play to your outs. You gotta make stuff happen. Now we need them to panic and use the Life's Bounty. Okay, they didn't do that. So now we bring out the Chain Web. Oh, we tapped too many greens. We shouldn't have tapped one of these greens for the Lovestruck Beast. Oh no. Now the opponent can use protection and get through for 8. No. No! How do we do it? How do we play around it? Okay, we have to gain life then with the Ooze. Bringing back the Chain Web won't do. Crap! I messed it up. Messed it up. But we're not dead. We're not dead. Imagine if they had multiple angels. Another Linden, of course. Of course they have another Linden. They tap out! This is it. They're at 19 too. This is it. They gave me a window. Chop it down. I'm not giving them a chance to play a land from their hand. I would love to get rid of the counter from the Luminarch Aspirant if they were going to put it there. But if they play an untapped land, it's a blowout. I'm not giving them the chance. Just in case there's the Land of Shame in their hand. All right. Ooze. Ooze. Good games me again. All right, you pre-GG'd me, now you actual GG me. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're just excited, but I'm focused. I'm not GG until the fat lady sings. Is that still okay to say? Do they still say when the fat lady sings in this year? All right. Get rid of that protection card so that our next Skyclave Apparition is a good one. The Arachnir can come back, but we don't need it to. I think we power up Barons. Take that action. Play this tap, pump this mana. Oh my lord. They have to block here and here. They could definitely pick off Innkeepers if we attack with them. Let's not. Play it safe. Next to damage, they fall upon the sword. All right, they said good game twice. I'm going to say good game now, in case they're hoping I say it, just in case. And it's a win. I feel like I already played this person. Let's see what happens. Innkeeper with 2 Giant Killers is pretty hype. So we'll go get green on the opponent's end step. Do not let them know our secrets. Yes, yes. You look like a bit of a veggie head yourself. Rogues. Great. Great! Love putting cards in my graveyard against rogues. On the bright side, we'll get off to a pretty good start. And we have the Chainweb Arachnirs that hopefully they will mill, and hopefully that will carry us. Glass Casket's good. Here's Edgy. Here's Killa. It's especially nice to play Giant Killer with an Edgewall Innkeeper if you're against rogues, as they don't have too many targets for the killer. We are an exile machine over here. I think the big question now will be drawing land. Please let my Innkeeper live. Thank you. Thank you for this. Wow. What a match. A brutal back and forth slog throughout. Rogue scooping on turn 2. Do you love to see it? I love to see it. All right, will it be more aggro decks? Yorion! Oh god, and look at this hand. But it has 2 Crawling Barons. I would never keep this against anything but Yorion, because our whole plan against the control decks is to spam Barons. Just spam the Barons. Okay, we kind of drew another green. Do we play the Innkeeper? Let's see, do they have an instant? No, they don't. Doesn't mean they don't have a way to remove a creature. I think we hold the Innkeeper and make sure that we draw cards with it. So I'll play this side of the beast and the Barons, and then that side of the beast. And then on the next turn, maybe we Fabled Passage and go Lovestruck Beast and Innkeeper. We'll see. Giant Killer, interesting. Continues to make the sequencing in this game hard. Hello. Definitely something along the lines of a Heartless Act or an Eliminate. Do we want to play around it? Do we want to play something cheap and non-threatening and just make the opponent waste this mana as opposed to playing the beast and letting them destroy it? I think we do. I'm gonna throw out this Arachneer that nobody ever cares about. And we'll play the Passage. We don't have to crack it. Alright, there's an app for that, to take out the Arachneer. But it's actually pretty good tempo, right? Because they had to use all this mana, now they don't have Heartless Act open, so they'll have to do it on their turn. Also, if they have Extinction Event, we get a 1/1, so it's a lot. It's not that bad. Alright. What is bad is our mana base. It's not the greatest. We're actually going to roll without white here, because I want to play Innkeeper into Beast and make them deal. Card draw eventually is mana fixing on a long enough timeline. On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for every mana screw drops to 0. And now the opponent has to choose. If they have one removal spell, do they kill the Innkeeper or do they kill the Beast? Are they afraid of the Great Henge? They probably are. They can't even tell we're a white deck yet. Alright, well, they've got a good removal spell, a Yorion Blinking a Skyclave Apparition. It's a removal spell that comes with a 4/5, but you see they have to go after the Beast because they're afraid of the Henge. Alright, well, we still can't get a white source to save our life. We will make 1/1. We will play Beastie. We will draw a card. Will we hit land? White source. Did it. Could play this Giant Killer and draw another card, but the Giant Killer does want to take down the Yorion. The problem is everything in our hand is white now. So I'm just going to play this and draw the card, and we'll plan to tap the Yorion if that's what we have to do. And look at that. Look at that. Another Giant Killer. The board's getting wide, and that's okay. The opponent probably has board wipes, but they have 2 creatures on board. So it punishes them if they wipe. They lose some value of their own, and then Barons might be able to start doing its thing. This game has been a struggle, though, like fighting for every land drop, awkward sequencing. The opponent's hand, decent enough, and we still think they have a Heartless Act. Oh, Brazen Borrower. They better kill the Innkeeper. They better kill the Innkeeper. And they do. Brilliant. Brilliant magic. And what's the top of the deck hold for us? Ta-da! Let's roll. Never didn't have it. Let's see if we can draw another land. We do! Alright. We're going to roll with the Casket on the app. A little scary if the opponent removes the Casket, they get back app, but it really opens up an attacking lane for us. Opponent gives us some signs of being a Doom Foretold deck for the first time. The Brazen Borrower had me wondering, and the fact that they didn't have any nuggets, any eggs like that. But Golden Egg is probably a Doom Foretold list. Wow, they even mistapped. Did you see that? They used their only black source to play the egg. Alright, they resolved the Doom Foretold. Now we have to sacrifice something. What's it gonna be? Probably the Giant Killer, right? Seems pretty easy. We could have used it in response to... Oh, this draw. Oh, baby. Top of the deck. Destroy. Now the Doom Foretold will eat itself, and we draw 2 cards from playing this sweet, sweet Giant Killer. So that we can keep hitting our land drop. The struggle of the game. I guess I'll play the Passage and not crack it, and hold it for a future Kazandu Mammoth moment. The opponent better wipe the board. I feel like they should have a board wipe. But even if they do, the Barons is ready to finish the job. We beat the Yorion deck. Dude! We're killing it. Have I lost? Have I lost game? Statistics. Green-white mid-range. 100% win rate! You guys remember what I said yesterday about win rates? They're scams. It's a scam. But dang it, it's my scam. And we're back for the post-game wrap. And ladies and gentlemen of the dojo, call it fate, call it luck, call it karma. I believe that things happen for a reason. I believe we were meant to find this green-white deck to force people to change up their laddering just a little bit, because right now, yeah, it is very repetitive if you're out there trying to get all the way up to Mythic. We did have the joy of facing 5 different decks in 6 matchups, the 2 of being, of course, the most popular deck in Rogues. And yes, as I showed at the end of that video, the metagame attack worked brilliantly with a tremendous sample size of 6-0. Do you enjoy the win rate scam? Here it is. So, nice, right? Nice. Anyway, I think the deck is good, and I have no changes to recommend. When you come off a 6-0, you probably don't need to make a lot of changes, but the one thing I'll point out is we beat the Yorion deck using Edgewall Innkeepers, Lovestruck Beasts, and Great Henge, and we did not need Crawling Barons. In fact, it made that draw a lot worse. So like I said in the intro, you might not need these Crawling Barons, and you should try the deck without it, especially if you haven't crafted Crawling Barons. If you need to know what to put in, just Plains Enforced, easy mode. Amiria's Call is a card I ran Crawling Barons instead of. If you own Amiria's Call, it's a mythic. I wouldn't craft it for the deck, because mythics for lands that are only sometimes not lands is probably not a good use of your mythic wildcards. But if you happen to have Amiria's Call hanging out, you can run that one. I think that's a pretty good substitution for at least 2 copies of Crawling Barons. The other 2 copies should be green and maybe Tangled Florahedron. Anyway, that's the deck. If you like beating rogues, keep the Arachnors in there. I think you do. Say something in the comments. If you like beating rogues, put I like beating rogues in the comments to let me know that I am speaking to the right people. All right. On that note, I do hope you'll try this deck. I think it will ladder pretty well. Feel free to leave me updates on your stats as long as you feel like they are useful. Like, don't do it just to trash me. You can trash me. Don't do it just to trash me. You know, make it interesting. Throw some salt in there. On that note, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.